What's going on, guys? It's Tetrosphere, and I wanted to do a little discussion slash explanation type video today. Outside of the case tournament commentary videos I've been doing from the GalaxyBusterTCG case tournaments, I've largely separated myself from advanced format in the TCG. Now, that being said, I do want to clarify, I do really enjoy Justice Hunters. Everyone knows I love the Draco Tail deck. I've even gone on the record as saying I believe it may have even replaced Trap Tricks as my favorite deck of all time. Probably the best designed deck of all time from a balancing perspective of being a deck that is powerful, being a deck that is playable, but also a deck that is completely fair. I think K9 is really cool. I think Vanquish Soul is really cool. I think the combination's a bit overtuned, but regardless. I think Yummy's fine. I don't really love the deck, but as far as combo decks goes, I think it's cool. I like its gimmick. But that being said, I really separated myself from Advanced because I found that the thing I loved most in Yu-Gi-Oh! Was hat format. Two things on that note. First and foremost, for those who don't know what hat format it is a Time Wizard format, a retro format, based on the April 2014 ban list and the card pool that was available at the 2014 NAWCQ. So this would include everything up to and including the Lightsworn structure deck that released that year. Second thing is, not that I took the game super seriously back then, but when I first ever tried competitive Yu-Gi-Oh!, it was approximately this format right before Pendulums came out. I was on like a Chaos Dragon Ruler deck. And I, played a little bit just like with friends in college. I never went to locals, but I remember being like, okay, this is something I could really get into. And then when the pendulum mechanic was announced, and I was kind of doing some homework on it, and really, mostly at this time I was at Reddit getting my information, it just really kind of turned me away from it. I didn't like the direction the game was going from there. So I just decided to stop even trying competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! For another 10 years until Phantom Nightmare. But regardless, the fact that hat format became a retro format that is somewhat prominent, I'd say it's probably the third or second most popular retro format at this point in time. And it kind of harkens back to when I first tried competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! And the decks that were good when I was first getting into the game. And that really attracted me to it. So I, kind of got my feet wet. I built the titular deck hat. Just because obviously in Advanced I already, loved playing Trap Tricks and trap cards. I love Labyrinth and those kinds of decks. I like back row decks, so for me it just made sense to play hat. And really just fell in love with the format. I really feel like it's a super diverse format in a very healthy way, that it isn't like it's impossible to prepare for these decks because they're all completely different. Like, you can definitely go in with an appropriate deck build and side plan to handle virtually any situation, but at the same token, the decks are all different enough that no matter what kind of player you are, you really can find a deck you're going to enjoy. Whether you like combo decks, you have decks like Sylvan here or Infernity. Those are both like really high engine combo strategies. You have ramp up strategies like Mermail. Mermail can go pretty hard turn one, but most of the time turn one you're establishing a pretty moderate board presence, if anything, maybe a couple back row and a monster or two, and then usually it's the clap back where you really go off. But sometimes the turn one is really nice. If you like back row decks, you've got Hat, you've got Geargia, you've got Cat. If you like really slow control strategies, kind of like defend the tower type strategies, you have stuff like Bujin, which is really playable. A Dolce is a really fun deck in this format. Even going into like the lower tier, I think a lot of people really like Fire King as a control strategy. Chaos Worn is super cool. All these decks except for Ghost Trick are super cool. And I really think that no matter what kind of player you are, you really have something to enjoy in hat format. So why am I even making this video? So what if I like hat format so much? Well, it wasn't just that I was playing hat format for those few weeks. It was that I was actually building a hat and Time Wizard scene at my locals. At first we were doing Edison, Goat, and Hat, and Edison didn't really seem to get that much attention, so we dropped that. And then Goat kind of was dying off too, so now we just exclusively do hat format, at least for the time being. And it's been a really positive reception. We routinely have locals fire of about 8 to 10 people, and it's been growing. We've been getting even more interest. I built like a library of hat decks for people to test with. I have Geargia built, I have Mermail, I have Hat, which I play, I have Spellbook, I have Cat, I have Bujin, I have Mythic Ruler, I have Sylvan, Fire King, I have Sidrafact. That might be it. So I'm pretty sure that's all I have built, but point being, you know, I really went ahead and kind of dove in, made a bunch of decks, have people try the format out, and people are really liking it. So the purpose of this video is I just want to put out there that if you guys are looking for a different way to enjoy Yu-Gi-Oh! And you haven't really considered hat format, go ahead and join the Hat Alliance Discord, or the GalaxyBusterTCG Facebook group if you're looking for a place to play in paper and you happen to live in the Eastern Michigan area. We're doing hat every Saturday now. I'm having an absolute blast with it, and I want to post more hat content on the channel, but I wanted to make sure that I was actually like solid in the format first. I didn't want to just like show a bunch of like misplays and stuff like that, but now that I'm a bit more familiar with the format, I kind of know what the decks are doing. There's going to be, I think, a lot of hat content in the future, being like deck profiles and you know, just kind of little informational videos with like me like talking to people who played in hat format, which I do have a couple people at my locals who did, so I'd love to have like their insight on the format, how it is played both in a modern retro format and how it was played historically, what's changed, what they liked back then, what they played back then, and you know, just a bunch of stuff like that. I really want this channel to kind of take a focus on hat format, but I'm not going to abandon advanced either. Like I said, I really like Justice Hunters, so I'm still definitely going to be going to regionals every now and then, playing advanced, and I'll be doing the commentary live matches at GalaxyBusterTCG whenever they do case tournaments, because I think that content is a lot of fun to make as well, and pretty much everybody in my community really appreciates and loves those videos. So with the positive reception those have been getting, those definitely aren't going to go away. But yeah, regardless, let me know down below what you guys think about hat format. Have you heard of hat format? If you haven't, do you think it's something you'd be willing to try? I'd really love to get this community going in both paper and dueling book. Like I said, join the Hat Alliance on Discord if it's something you're interested about. I would love to see this format grow, and I personally think it's the best format. I like it a lot more than Edison or Goat, and I think that the more people try it, the more people will feel like it actually does have more to offer than those formats. So just a quick little informational video today, just kind of a quick little discussion. I appreciate you guys checking her out. I will catch you in the next one. Peace.